Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually requested by a subscriber of mine. I will put her request right here. So she asked if I could do like an amazing underrated cheapie type video. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. So I went into my collection and I made it really strict to myself to pick out just 10, like my top 10 underrated perfumes that I think smell insanely high-end. Some of them are actually like compared to high-end perfumes, but then some of them are just like their own original scents. And so I just picked out some perfumes that I don't think I hear a lot about. I think these are super underrated and they're amazing, and I think these all smell like they could be 100 plus. They do not smell cheap, and these are all under $20. I feel like, no shade, no tea, but sometimes when people do these kinds of videos and they're like affordable perfumes, they'll show a perfume that's like $60. In their defense, $60 is a lot cheaper than say like a niche $200+ perfume, but $60 is not affordable. So the ones I'm showing you today are all $20 and under. None of these go above $20, and I will link every single one of these in the description for you guys. I will find links like either from Fragrance Net or Fragrance X, whichever has the least expensive option, but also I will let you guys know that some of these I have also gotten like in stores, actually all of them, because you guys know I don't like online shopping. If you watch my channel, you already know that, but if anyone is new here, I don't like online shopping. Like, I avoid it like the plague. I feel like that was a bad joke. It's a little too soon to be making those kinds of jokes. But anyways, if you want to see my top 10 underrated cheapies that smell absolutely amazing and that are all under $20, then just keep watching. So if you are a returning subscriber, some of these perfumes you might have seen pop up in some of my videos, but I tried to include some brand new perfumes that I have in my collection because I didn't want to like bore you with perfumes that I've already shown. So I feel like I have a good mix of new / older perfumes. Okay, so the first perfume I'm going to start off with is a brand new perfume in my collection, and when I tell you I fell in love with this perfume, it was literally just love at first smell. It just blew me away, the dry down especially, and it is so insanely inexpensive, and you can get a giant bottle for $22. I know that's over the $20 limit, but the giant bottle that you can get is a 5-ounce bottle for like $22. Or you can find it cheaper, obviously, for like the normal like 3.4s, even, you know, smaller than that. But I have the 5-ounce here. So this is the Calvin Klein Into You For Her perfume. They have it for him as well. The way that I first got introduced to this perfume was actually from a video that Demi Rawling had done on her channel. If you don't know, she's a perfume YouTuber. She made a video on this perfume and she said it smelled amazing and that it was a really good comparable dupe to one of her favorite like niche perfumes, and that perfume is a pretty penny. This perfume is compared to Fragrance Du Bois' Santal Complete. I don't know if I said that right. People have even said that it smells similar to Gypsy Water from Byredo, another pretty penny type of perfume. And no, I haven't smelled either of those perfumes, so I can't tell you like yes, they smell exactly the same, because I don't know. I personally just love this fragrance just for how it smells on its own. I don't really care that it's a dupe. I personally got it because I had heard her talk about it. I think a couple people have talked about this. Once I looked at the notes and I just saw different reviews, I was really like interested in this perfume. This perfume is not in my usual scent profile. If you are new to this channel, what I like in scents, what I look for is sweet scents, but lately I feel like I've kind of gotten out of my comfort zone, and I do sometimes dabble in florals, but florals are like my least favorite type of perfume. I do not like heavy florals. I don't like rose scented perfumes. I don't like perfumes that smell too mature, and I also don't love fresher perfumes, and this one is a fresher kind of scent, but the way that this dries down is absolutely mind-blowing. This is literally the biggest bottle of perfume that I own. Like, it is absolutely gigantic, and I'm so glad that I absolutely love this scent because I know that I will have this for a very long time. I don't know if it's supposed to look like this, but to me, I don't think it is. To me, it looks like a little milk jug, like a milk jug that you see from like Tom and Jerry. Maybe that's just like my childish mind thinking weird things, but for some reason it looks to me like a milk jug. So before I kind of give my description on it and what I think it smells like, I'm gonna go through the notes really quick. So this has pink grapefruit, Sicilian bergamot, and red currant leaf, middle notes of cactus and orchid, and base notes of vanilla, red cedar, and amber. When I saw the top notes and even the middle notes, I mean, I'm okay with the orchid, but I don't think I have any perfumes that have cactus in it. But The top notes kind of scared me a little bit because as you can see, there's some citrus in it, and I am not a huge fan of super tangy scents, like super citrusy opening scents. But then I saw the base notes of the vanilla and the amber, and those are two of like my favorite notes. So I figured this might start off pretty like bright and citrusy in the opening, but it would dry down to like a vanilla ambery dry down. And so once I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot, because I do really like those types of scents. I just don't like strictly like tangy, strictly citrus type, like citrus florals. That's not my vibe. I like a perfume that's a little bit denser, it's a little bit creamier, I guess, and this is it. Do not be fooled by those super bright citrus notes in the opening, because yes, it does kind of start off that way, especially like when you first spray it in the air. It almost smells unisex because it's so kind of bright and fresh and citrusy, but once it dries down, this is pure magic. I am obsessed with the dry down of this perfume, and I could literally smell like this for my entire life. I do not like fresh scents. I find that fresh scents kind of just defeat the purpose of wearing a perfume. Once I get out of the shower and the smell of my clothes, all of that is like a clean scent. And I just feel like, in my opinion, putting on a perfume that smells super clean and it smells like fresh laundry, it just, to me, is like, why did I just pay $100 on a perfume for me to smell exactly like what my clothes already smell like when they come out of the laundry? Like, I just don't find sense into that. That's like my personal beef with clean, like overly clean, fresh scents. But this one, oh, especially the dry down, you guys don't even understand how good this is. I find this to be so sexy. Rarely will I ever say that about a citrus, fresher kind of scent, but there's something about this, especially in the dry down, that I find insanely sexy. It almost has like this cactus pine mixed with like a lemon, but it's sweet. Like, it's not tart. In the opening, it might be slightly tart, but once it dries down, it sweetens up in the most beautiful way that I have ever smelled in a fragrance. It's like fresh sweet, I guess. I would say it's more so on the fresher end of fragrances, but for a fresher scent, I think this is like the most unique fresh scent that I've ever smelled. Usually with fresher scents, I find them to be boring and they just lack originality, but this one, I have never smelled a fragrance like this, and it's like fresh, but without being too fresh, without being laundry fresh or like a citrus like Windex spray, like a cleaner. It doesn't smell like that at all, because it sweetens up in that dry down and it just becomes so sexy. It does so well with my skin. I find this to be so perfect for the spring and summertime, but I also am going to be wearing this through the fall and winter time, because I just feel like it's an all year round type of scent. It's not like too crisp and fresh where it's like too light for the winter and fall, because it also has like this depth to it. If you guys are looking for an amazing, underrated, cheap scent, this is it. This is literally the most expensive, affordable perfume I own in my collection. Like, I'm not even gonna say one of the most expensive smelling, but like the most expensive smelling, I would say this one is. I think this is going to be the absolute most safest blind buy ever, because I think if you love fresh scents, you will love this. If you love florals, you will love this. And if you love sweet scents, you will love this, because it has a little bit of each one of those categories. It's citrusy, it's woody, it's a little bit unisex, but not too much. It still has like that vanilla sweet dry down. It's creamy, it's dense. It's not like a super airy, fresh kind of scent that's going to disappear off your skin in like an hour. This actually does stay on my skin for at least 5 hours, especially considering it is a fresher scent. And these types of scents tend to not last too long, but I find that this really lasts on me. I would definitely give this one a try. If you have this scent, let me know in the comments if you love this. This is like a compliment magnet. I don't see anybody that cannot love this fragrance. That is Calvin Klein Into You for her. So next, I'm gonna kind of go back and forth with scents that you guys have seen previously on my channel and then newer ones. So the next scent you might have seen on my channel before. I actually have a whole dedicated video to this perfume, and then I've mentioned it in, I think, a haul or something like that, but I had to include this. This is Banana Republic Dark Cherry and Amber. So I picked this scent up for $19.99 at Burlington. This scent and all of the hype around it is because this is an amazing dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. I feel like I've mentioned this perfume like at least 100 times on my channel. I think it's a beautiful perfume. I even tried in my most recent video from Juliana's Perfumes their dupe, which was Aurora, which was pretty much like an exact mimic of Baccarat. So I feel like I'm pretty familiar with the scents at this point. And this one is yet another dupe, but with a little twist. This basically smells pretty much like Baccarat, but with a cherry note. It comes with a little disclaimer, because if you're buying this scent strictly because you love the scent of cherry, you're not really going to get that in this perfume. I personally find that I only really get the cherry scent in like the initial first spray, like maybe for like the first 3 minutes it's like there, but once it fully dries down, I can only smell that like typical Baccarat scent in this. If you really search in the scent, you can smell like a hint of like this sort of like dark cherry, but it's not like a fruity, bright kind of cherry scent. That's not what you're gonna get out of this. I mean, it is called dark cherry. This is very sexy. It's very sensual. And the notes in this are top notes of sour cherry, pink freesia, middle notes of praline and cherry blossom, and base notes of red amber and cedar. I feel like it's kind of misleading with that sour cherry and the pink freesia, because you would think this opens up very fresh and tangy. And I don't think it does. I think it opens up very dark and sensual. It's not like an airy sort of vibrant scent like those top notes would make you think it would be. It kind of keeps that depth all throughout in this. And then obviously it just deepens up with the middle notes and the base notes. You get that praline too. It has like this little bit of, I don't know, sweetness to it as well. This is, I would say, like a dark version of Baccarat Rouge. Personally, even though I like, you know, that sort of ozonic characteristic scent that makes up Baccarat Rouge, and that you find in Cloud, that you find in the Stars from Bath & Body Works, Burberry Her. You guys know what I'm talking about if you smelled any of those fragrances. It's like they all have this really indescribable scent, like this ozonic sort of cold scent to them. It's not as harsh in this. In my opinion, in Cloud, that scent is a little bit too screechy, like it's very loud, and in this one I feel like it's a little bit more toned down and it's more sexy. Maybe that amber is kind of like rounding this up a little bit more. This smells insanely expensive to me. I mean, if it smells like Baccarat, which is like a $300 perfume, that's how you know it doesn't smell cheap. Even the bottle, it's very simple, but it's like, it's a heavy bottle. The cap and everything, I feel like these are really well designed. This is the only Banana Republic scent that I have tried, but a lot of their scents have popped up at Burlington. I always see them. So if you have a Burlington near you, go pop up there and you might find this. Tip, if you do go to shop in Burlington, this sometimes floats around the men's section of perfumes. So if you can't find it in the women's, definitely go check in the men's, because I feel like because of the dark packaging, it might kind of look like a men's fragrance, or I think they think it might be, so they put it there. I've seen it a lot of the times in the men's fragrance section. That's a little tip if you are actually going to go to Burlington to try to find this, but you can also find it online. It'll be linked in the description. So if you love the scent of Burberry Her, if you love the scent of Cloud, Baccarat, Into the Night from Bath & Body Works, any of those types of scents, but you like a little hint of cherry in there, definitely go for this scent. This is Banana Republic Dark Cherry and Amber. So next perfume is another scent that I had to include in this video, because the first scent that this reminded me of, the second that I got in my car and I unwrapped this scent and I smelled it, one perfume came to mind, and that perfume is Gucci Rush. In my opinion, the perfume I'm about to show you smells almost identical to Gucci Rush. So if you love Gucci Rush, which it's an older fragrance now, so you can find it for a lot less than what it was probably originally sold for. I feel like you can find it for like maybe 50, 60 bucks, which is not too bad, but this is like the $20 version. Actually, I think this was $14.99, so this was literally 15 bucks. This perfume is Rogue by Rihanna. So this is a new scent that you guys have not seen me include in my channel before. I have a lot of new perfumes that I've bought, so I'm going to be having a lot of hauls coming up. I will include this in a future celebrity haul video, because I've been buying some new celebrity perfumes. So this is on the more polarizing of scents that I'm showing in this video, because I don't think everyone will be obsessed with this scent, just like I don't think everyone is obsessed with Gucci Rush. I know a lot of people love this, but it's a more polarizing scent just because it's a very unique scent. There's many unique factors to this perfume that I think just set it apart from most perfumes, which is why I'm kind of giving this disclaimer that this might not be the safest blind buy, but for 15 bucks, I still think you can't go wrong. It's very, very sexy. It's very dark. This has top notes of lemon blossom, cyclamen, middle notes of suede, plum, rose, and jasmine, and base notes of patchouli, vanilla, musk, woody notes, and amber. I feel like the kind of star of the show, the most unique kind of note in this is that suede, because, you know, you don't really see that note a lot in perfumes. It has like a bitterness to it. Not only is this compared to Gucci Rush, which in my opinion, having the original and smelling them side by side, I think they smell almost identical, but this is also compared to another higher end perfume, which is Bottega Veneta. People have said that they are very similar also. I've never smelled that perfume, but I like to kind of give you these comparisons just in case you guys have these scents, so that you may kind of know what this one might smell like. And also just to kind of show you guys that considering they are compared to more higher end perfumes, it just goes to show how high end this perfume smells. Even if to me this wasn't similar to Gucci Rush, like I had never smelled this scent before and I just didn't know the scent, I would still think this scent smells so incredibly expensive. Definitely check out your Burlington if you have one near you, but if you don't, check out the links. You can definitely smell that suede. It's like kind of leathery. It has like this animalic vibe to it. This is like a trashy perfume. In my opinion, like this is a clubbing perfume. Do not take offense to me saying that it's trashy. I don't mean that in like a literal term, but I feel like most fragrance lovers would know what I mean. This is not like your classy, sophisticated perfume. This is trashy. This is like your I'm gonna wear a skin-tight dress to go to the club type of perfume, and you top it off with this. This is like I want attention. This is like I am confident, make your presence known type of perfume. This has insane projection. It's a loud perfume for sure. It's very like leathery, like I said, kind of bitter. It has like a touch of sweetness to it, a little bit floral. It's very, very hard to explain, just like this one is, because they're so unique. And I think this is, out of all the perfumes, the least safe blind buy in my opinion. But if you love more out there sort of perfumes, I highly recommend giving this one a try. This is definitely not your average day-to-day type of perfume. This is one you wear when you want to be noticed. It kind of has also like this plasticky smell that this one has. Like it kind of smells like, I don't know, plastic, leather, but with also like a touch of like vanilla sweetness to it. Very little touch of that vanilla sweetness to it because it's not a sweet scent. I wouldn't categorize this as being a sweet scent. If you love Gucci Rush or Bottega Veneta, or even if you haven't tried those perfumes and you like louder, more out there, unique scents, definitely go for this one. But if you're not a fan of bold fragrances that smell a little different, then maybe don't go for this one. But still, I recommend trying it out, especially if you can find it for like 15 bucks. You cannot go wrong. This is a very, very high quality, expensive smelling scent, especially for a celebrity perfume. I think we all know at this point that most celebrity perfumes all smell the same because they're all gearing towards the same audience, and obviously they like the sweeter scents, you know, vanilla, candy, sweet, crowd pleaser type of scents, and this is not that at all. Like at all. Leave it to Rihanna to make a really unique scent, but I think she really does a good job with her perfumes. Like you have Rebel Fleur, which is such a highly loved perfume that also smells really expensive. I wanted to include that in this video, but then that would have just been too much. But that's a really good one as well, so I guess we'll give the honorable mention to that. But I wanted to include this one because I personally feel like this smells more expensive. This is Rogue by Rihanna. So the next scent is a newer scent, and I think that some of you might kind of be surprised at this because this is a pretty old scent that I hear nobody talking about. This is Couture by Juicy Couture. I have a little bottle of it. This is the 1 ounce. Yes, the original one comes with like a little pink ribbon tied around it, but I think because this is the smaller version, it doesn't. This to me kind of smells like the original Juicy Couture scent. Not Viva La Juicy kind of sweet. It smells like the original like Juicy Couture. I'll put up the bottle right here. To me, it smells a lot like it. I used to own that perfume a very long time ago, and to be completely honest, I haven't smelled it in a long time. But I did have it for a period in my life, and I wore it like every day, so I feel like I'm pretty familiar with the scent. And This one is kind of reminding me of it. I personally feel like this smells really, really expensive. The day that I got this, I wore it the entire day, and my fiance was like non-stop complimenting me. He was like, wow, you smell really good. And there's only few perfumes that he notices because I have like over 100 perfumes. I have so many, and I wear a new perfume every single day. He's kind of just used to me smelling nice and me smelling like a certain fragrance. Like, he's used to my fragrances. So when I kind of bring out a new one and it smells a little bit different and it smells good, and he actually says something, I'm like, ooh, that's how I know it smells good. At first I was like, do I like this? Do I not? Like, I was kind of like getting used to it. But once I kind of let it settle down, it smells incredible. It's a more mature smelling scent in my opinion, especially for Juicy Couture, considering I feel like they make perfumes that are more geared to like a younger audience, and so is this. Like, this doesn't smell insanely mature, but I feel like if I could put an age category to this, just for the sake of explaining it, I would put this in like 25 and up kind of age range. I find this very, very sexy. Like, it's pretty unique for a juicy scent. They're good scents, but at this point, I feel like we've all smelled them on somebody. Like, they're so overworn that they've kind of lost that unique quality. And I feel like this is kind of bringing it back, even though it's not bringing it back because it's an older scent. This has top notes of African orange flower, mandarin orange, and grapefruit, middle notes of plum, jasmine, and honeysuckle, and base notes of amber, vanilla, and sandalwood. The dry down is really amazing in this, and it's basically exactly what you think the dry down of those base notes would be like, but with also like a little bit of that jasmine in there, which I absolutely love. I love jasmine. I'm not a huge floral lover, but jasmine is my absolute favorite floral. I love almost every perfume that has jasmine in it. I don't really know how to explain this. It's kind of like a typical perfumey scent, but with a really pretty, sexy, sweet dry down, but it's not cloying sweet, not gourmand sweet, not your typical juicy, girly, juvenile sweet. It's more sexy. It's got like a sensual quality to it. It does really well on your skin. This is more of a close to the skin type of skin scent. It doesn't have like insane projection, but it does have good lasting power. It has a very sort of 80s 90s vibe, and I would kind of categorize this as being like a fruity floriental type of scent. If you want a more mature version of like a typical juicy juvenile sort of scent, this is that. It's giving you a little bit more of a sex appeal. It's a little bit more mature, more sophisticated than like your Viva La Juicy's. Like, this is Viva La Juicy's sexy, cool aunt. And I feel like out of most Juicy Couture scents that I have tried, which is a good amount, and I love all of them, don't get me wrong, like I absolutely love wearing them. I get compliments on all of them all the time, but I think this is a pretty expensive smelling, more of a unique type of scent for their line for sure. So again, this is Couture Couture by Juicy Couture. So the next scent is an absolute no-brainer. I talked about this in my previous Guess Perfumes video. This is the Guess Seductive Noir. This is absolutely stunning. Like, this smells like an expensive perfume, like all through and through. This is so delicious. I don't even know where to begin to explain my love for this scent. If you love the scent of Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, this is like the #1 kind of compared perfume to that. It's said to be like a #1 dupe to it. I have smelled that perfume like once. They're not like identical dupes, but I think they give off pretty much the exact same vibe, and I think a lot of people will agree on that. But that's not even the reason why I bought this perfume. I normally love perfumes that say like noir on them. I just love darker, deeper perfumes in general, and so that was kind of like the selling point for me for this scent, and so I decided to give it a try. It was a blind buy for me, obviously. I picked this up at TJ Maxx, and it was like 16 bucks, very inexpensive, definitely under 20, but it smells like it could be 600. I'm not even joking. This smells insanely good. I just included this in my affordable Guess perfume haul that I just made. It was my previous video, and literally you guys were going crazy over this scent. So many of you were telling me that this is like one of your absolute favorite perfumes ever. Like, I included other perfumes in that video, but this seemed to be like the #1 that was getting plenty of compliments. You guys were just absolutely going crazy for this, just like I am. I think this is so amazing. This is definitely worth a try. It's a little bit more of a, I mean, I would kind of call it polarizing. Somebody actually explained it like so perfectly. I will include her comment right up here. Her name is Amanda, and she says it's almost like a Guerlain mixed with a Dior Addict. And when I read that, I was like, yes, like that is so spot on. If you love both of those fragrances, this is like their love child. This is like a night out, you're drinking wine, I don't know, very classy. I was trying to put the freaking cap over here. Am I okay? This has top notes of sage, bergamot, and peony, has middle notes of iris, jasmine, sambac, lily of the valley, and base notes of vanilla, Haitian vetiver, and velvet. If anything is an underrated gem, it's this. If you were blindfolding me, I would think this was like a $300 perfume. This is insanely expensive smelling. It is so good. It's so rich. The longevity in this perfume is absolutely incredible. It will last you so long. It has amazing projection, amazing sillage. You're gonna leave an amazing, like, just intoxicating scent trail with this. It's a dark vanilla, like it's sweet. It's very sweet in a really sort of like mysterious way. It has like an incense sort of quality to it as well. Just 2 words: sexy, warm, indulgence type of fragrance. I'm gonna stop describing it because I could go on and on for how delicious this smells. I just think this is a man magnet. This is a scent you wear if you're trying to attract male attention, or if you're trying to get a boo. I said this in my last video, I'm gonna say it again. If you're trying to get a boo, go with this. This is Guess Seductive Noir. So the next scent is another new scent that I haven't talked about here on my channel, but I fell in love the second that I smelled it. I picked this up at Burlington for I think like 15 bucks. And this just completely blew me away because it's a celebrity perfume, but it's a expensive smelling celebrity perfume that I literally hear absolutely nobody talk about this fragrance. Like literally nobody talks about this scent. When I put it up, maybe a lot of you guys won't even know what this scent is because it's just that not talked about, and I don't understand why, because I think this smells amazing. This is Believe by Britney Spears, and I feel like from the bottle and maybe even from the juice, you would kind of think that this is like your run-of-the-mill fresh fragrance, nothing to it. But no, honey, just smell it and then come back to this video. This is so good. This is just so good. This perfume is by far the most expensive smelling Britney Spears perfume I have ever smelled. I feel like Britney, even though I love her perfumes, they're more on the sweeter, more crowd-pleasing side. This one has to be the most unique that I have tried from her line. If I smelled this, the last thing that would come to my mind would be celebrity fragrance, because this smells very rich. And it does not smell like what the bottle looks. I really like the design of the bottle. It kind of looks like a crystal of some sort of. But I feel like the juice inside would kind of make you think that it's a fresher vibe type of scent. But this is dense. This is not an airy, fresh type of scent, which I feel like is the vibe that it's kind of giving. And it just smells like such a high-end fragrance to me. It's actually compared to some higher-end fragrances. I have Fragrantica right in front of me. And a perfume that this is kind of compared to is Gucci by Gucci, Eau de Parfum. It's this perfume right here. I think it's pretty discontinued, but it's like one of the top perfumes that it's been compared to. And even before I saw that, this definitely gave me like Gucci perfume vibes. Like it definitely smells like some perfume that Gucci would come out with. This has a pretty heavy patchouli note in it. You guys know how I feel about patchouli. I've said it in like every single video that I'm not a huge fan, but somehow, even though it's heavy patchouli, it's like sweet patchouli. It's not dirty patchouli at all whatsoever. It doesn't smell like sweat or BO. It's like a fruit chuli, I guess, but in a good way, because the perfume that I've smelled that is also a fruit chuli is Mon Paris by YSL, and that is a perfume I really didn't like. The patchouli in it was so heavy, and it was just way too earthy, and it kind of overshadowed all of those bright, like I think it has strawberry in the top notes or something, and I thought that patchouli would just overshadow it in it. But with this one, I feel like the sweetness and bright notes are like even stronger than that patchouli. So the patchouli is not like, it's heavy, but it's sweetened up and it's more bright of a patchouli. Like it's a patchouli that I haven't really smelled patchouli before. If this is a patchouli scent, it's like the only patchouli perfume I have ever like loved in my life. As far as like strictly patchouli kind of perfumes go, it has some delicious fruits in the opening. One of my favorite notes is guava, and this has guava in the top notes. It also has tangerine in the top notes, and then it has middle notes of lime blossom and honeysuckle with base notes of patchouli, praline, and amber. It does kind of open up a little bit fresh, but still sweet. which is that guava. Guava is such an amazing note. Guava is just such an amazing scent in general. And then the base notes, like, yeah, the patchouli is there, but it's really combined really nicely with the praline and amber, making this really sweet, while also that guava kind of is staying put in this, even in the dry down. I don't even know what category I would put this in, because it's not just a fruity scent, it's not just a floral scent, it's not just a sweet scent, it's like all of them. It's not too much for spring and summer, but it's not too light for fall and winter. It's like all year round. It's just, I don't know, it just works for any season. I feel like any occasion this is good for. This is the most expensive smelling of Britney's fragrances, and it does not smell like any of her other fragrances. Definitely doesn't smell like Fantasy, like not even a drop. Doesn't smell like Curious, doesn't smell like Private Show, doesn't smell like Prerogative. Those are all perfumes that I've tried from her, and it doesn't smell like any of them. I haven't tried any of her other ones to compare, but I have a feeling that this is just, it just kind of stands on its own, and it's the most expensive smelling out of all of them that actually smells like a designer scent and not a celebrity perfume. This is Believe by Britney Spears. So going next to a really underrated gem, like this is such a good scent. This is still by JLo. I recently discovered this perfume as well, and this perfume smells like something Dior would come up with. Like, it's so good. There's such a unique quality to it. It smells like a luxurious $200 designer fragrance. It's absolutely stunning. Like, this is elegant. It's fresh. It's sweet. This has a really prominent Earl Grey tea note, which is very unique. Not something you get in many fragrances. This has amazing sillage. It has amazing projection. It's a stronger scent. Like, don't be fooled by this pretty basic looking bottle, I guess. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's a celebrity scent or JLo. I feel like JLo's scents are mostly all kind of soapy scents and not all super unique, with the exception of one that I will show later. It has a lot going on for notes, so I'm going to read them to you guys. It has top notes of, like I said, Earl Grey tea, white pepper, mandarin orange, apple, and rice. Like, such a unique, I feel like, combination of top notes, like white pepper, Earl Grey tea, and rice. Like, huh? And then you have middle notes of jasmine, lily of the valley, freesia, honeysuckle, rose, and orange blossom. And then base notes of pepper, musk, iris, sandalwood, and amber. This is kind of like a peppery Earl Grey tea scent, but in like a very perfumey way. When I first saw that this was like a tea perfume, I was like, I like drinking tea, like every once in a while it's okay, but I don't know if I would necessarily want to smell like tea. It has that tea note, you can smell it, but in a perfumey way, like in an expensive way, where it doesn't smell like you just rubbed tea on yourself. It actually smells like you have an expensive perfume on. This is a compliment magnet. This, in my opinion, is a very, very safe blind buy. It's a crowd pleaser, but in a unique way. I feel like most crowd-pleasing scents are scents that are just overdone and they just smell sweet, vanilla, like, you know, those types of scents, whereas this one has a unique factor to it. But it's unique and also very likable, because sometimes those two don't always mix. This makes you feel so calm, like so serene and peaceful. It's a really incredible scent. I definitely highly recommend giving this one a try, because it's such an underrated perfume. Literally nobody talks about this, and I just had to talk about it. That is still by JLo. Okay, so the next scent I'm going to show is for all of you gourmand lovers out there. This is a sweet gourmand lover's dream fragrance. This is a very good, very underrated, I feel like, perfume that smells very high-end, and it's not. This is Laura Mercier Eau Gourmand Ombre Vanille. So this is a very rich, super sweet, warm, coconutty vanilla, but without being tropical type scent. If you like, for example, coconut cream pie from Bath and Body Works, it's like coconut in that type of way, like more of a gourmand coconut rather than like tropical beachy sunscreen. This has top notes of orchid, heliotrope, tangerine, middle notes of coconut and almond, and base notes of sandalwood. This is compared to Cheirosa 62 by Sol de Janeiro, or their Sol perfume, which is basically like the perfume version of that body spray. So if you like that type of scent, you will love this, because I feel like it's very reminiscent. If you have the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream, which smells like Cheirosa 62, and you pair it up with this on top, you will be a literal walking snack. It's definitely a compliment getter for sure. I feel like most men really love sweet scents, so if you're trying to attract a male, definitely wear this scent. It's a bit cloying, I'm gonna be honest, just because it's so sweet. And I haven't worn it for a while because I feel like I've been wearing these types of scents lately where they're a little bit fresher. Like, it's still dense and pretty prominent, but it's not as heavy and dense as like a strong, rich, gourmand vanilla coconut would be. So I am going to give that disclaimer about this, that if you don't love like super sweet, sugary, gourmand scents, you are not going to love this. It has a really good almond note in it, which is also sweetening this up. For me, I feel like the almond, the vanilla, and the coconut are like the top 3 notes that I can smell, and the combination of the 3 just gives you like this, you just walked into a bakery kind of scent. This is a safe blind buy if you love gourmands, if you love vanillas, like really intensely sweet. This is going to do amazing in the fall and winter because it's a scent that will kind of almost keep you warm. Like, it's so warm and cozy that it will give you that kind of vibe. It's very inexpensive but smells very expensive. So that is Laura Mercier Ombre Vanille. So the next very rich smelling scent that is pretty new to my collection, this is the Roberto Cavalli Eau de Parfum. This is an oriental scent. It's a spicy vanilla type of scent. It is so expensive smelling. Like, ooh, this smells like a rich businesswoman. It has top notes of pink pepper, middle notes of African orange flower, and base notes of vanille, benzoin, and tonka bean. I would say the number 1 perfume that this is kind of compared to is the Classique Essence de Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. So if you have that, maybe that'll kind of make you understand what this one smells like a little bit more. This is very sexy. As I said, it's a spicy vanilla. It is kind of a more mature vanilla, but in like the best way possible. It's not cloying. To me, this smells very mature and sexy. That would be the like best 2 words that I could describe this. Every time I smell this, it just reminds me of a sexy woman that has her life together. This is what I would call a more classy, sexy vanilla. I picture wearing like a suit in this, something that makes you feel powerful, I guess, some nice heels or something like that. That would be kind of like the outfit that kind of goes with this. It's just an absolutely stunning scent that smells so high end, way more than $16.99, which is what I paid for. I don't know how much this will be online, but probably around there. It's a very inexpensive scent, and I highly recommend it. If you like a spicy vanilla, sort of a little bit oriental smelling, very sexy type of scent, definitely go for Roberto Cavalli Eau de Parfum. So the time has come for me to show you my last scent, and I'm sorry guys, but I just had to include this scent. I cannot do a video where I show like the most expensive smelling cheapies, like my favorites, without showing this perfume, because this has to be my number 1 perfume like ever. One of my number 1s, especially in the more affordable category, because this perfume stunned me since the second that I smelled it. I have a backup of this perfume, which is the only perfume I have a backup of. And when I show this to you guys, you're gonna be like, really? This is Miami Glow by J.Lo. I had to include this. Oh, this perfume puts me at ease. This is a perfume I wear when I have a stressful day, when there's so many things going on in my mind, which is every day. This perfume calms me down. It brings me such amazing memories. I don't even have words for how in love I am with this scent. This is a perfume I cannot live without. As you guys know, I have like 100+ perfumes in my collection, and if I said this is a perfume that I cannot live without, that's how you know how much I love it. I know that a lot of you guys love it as well, but I know that a lot of you guys don't love this because you think it's a little soapy, which yes, it has a little bit of a soapiness to it. I feel like most J.Lo fragrances do, but there's something about this one. The coconut in it, the passion fruit, the grapefruit. This is the most unique perfume I have in my collection. I have never, ever smelled a perfume that smells anything close to resembling this perfume. And so that's why I had to include this perfume, because I genuinely do not think that this smells cheap. This is a tropical perfume. This is a perfume that I only see myself wearing in the summertime because it's literally summer in a bottle. This in the fall and winter time is like a fish out of water. Like, it just doesn't make sense because it just straight up smells like summertime. It has like a hint of a sunscreen smell to it, but in a really good way. The top notes in here are passion fruit, coconut milk, and pink grapefruit. Middle notes of orange blossom, cyclamen, and heliotrope, and base notes of vanilla, musk, and amber. It is like a musky coconut, vanilla, tropical explosion. And I know that some of you guys have told me like, oh, this smells like cheap soap, and I really don't know what to say to that, because this to me smells like a luxurious summer scent. Very tropical, beachy vibes. If you guys watch Outer Banks, this is a perfume that I feel like they would wear, like probably like Sarah Cameron would wear, because this screams like beachy island vibes. Like if you are an island girl, this is what I would imagine you smelling like. I pretty much wear this all year round. I live in Florida, so here it's pretty much summer all year round, so you could literally go to the beach on Christmas. So this is a perfume that I get a lot of wear out of, just because I can always wear it where I'm at. Usually when I go to the beach, it's this perfume that I wear. I would say this is the #1 perfume I wear to the beach, because it's clean smelling, but fruity, but sweet, but beachy. It doesn't smell too much for the beach, and the way your skin smells with this on, especially just being at the beach and like baking in the sun, those beachy smells, they just mix with this so well, and this is just incredible. I could go on and on and on for my love for this perfume. It's like my top 5 for life kind of a scent, and I had to mention it in this video because this is an underrated cheapie videos, and I feel like that's an underrated cheapie that smells luxurious. So again, that is Miami Glow by JLo. It's very fitting also to where I live, because I live pretty close to Miami. So that is it for this video. I know that that was a lot of perfumes. That was 10 perfumes. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these fragrances you have and which are your favorites. Let me know your underrated cheapie in the comments, because you better believe I will go out and get it. That is it for this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a like if you did, or dislike it if you didn't. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you guys in my next video.